Hi, Darren Towers here with the North Texas 750 STOL, and today we're flying out to Sulphur Springs, Texas for the National STOL Finals. This is Friday morning. We're leaving out just after sunrise. We're getting everything ready to go. Everything's green. We're going to roll in some power. Get up to about 40 miles an hour, pull the nose off the ground, get flying about 45 miles an hour, hold it in ground effects. Build up some speed to about 70 miles an hour. You just want to get it off the ground as quickly as possible so we're not bouncing the landing gear to death. And now we're up to about 70, and we can finally gain some height. And at Lakeview, there's not many options for if you have an engine out. So one of the things I like to do is fly over this little park and then head toward the boat ramps that are just south of the airfield, just in case. But everything's green. Well, you can probably now make the boat ramp if we had any engine out. Other than that, there's not many places other than the water to go down in. It's water, trees, or houses. And now we're getting on course. We're first going to head toward Kenny International Airport, fly just over top of their airspace while staying underneath the Bravo shelf for DFW. Heading toward Little Round right now. Now we're out over Frisco, heading toward McKinney. And my pre-flight planning, I tried to find as many open spots on Google Earth as I can. I kind of try to fly to all those until I get out past McKinney, just to have safe spots. My Viking 130 has been really reliable, but it is experimental, and anything can happen, and any plane, anything can happen. So I like to have as many outs as possible. So here's one of my spots. Now, after about an hour's worth of flying, we're heading out to Sulphur Springs. It's easy to find. There's a nice little lake just north of the airport. I'm talking to on Unicom. They had, as the show was going on, they were directing traffic in and out. So I'm going to go a little bit further and then start my downwind for runway 1. It cleared me for runway 1. The guys running the event wanted me to hold it tight and keep in tight. I tried to get down to the pattern altitude of the guys practicing, so they wanted me to keep it tight, land short as possible, and try to make the first taxiway. So right now I'm trying to actually get down. You can't see it in this frame, but Austin Clemens is actually making his practice run, and he's just a little bit above me and over a little bit further to the east. So I'm keeping out of his way as best as possible. You'll see him in a second. Trying to land as short as possible. So there we are. And there's Austin doing his practice run. They're landing about 3/4 of the way down the runway. They've got a little set up down there. And now they hold me for the next plane flying over that's making their practice run. So I don't get underneath them. Airport was fully open. There was a Piper Cherokee going down to take off. And I don't know who the competitor is that flies over. It looks like a jet aircraft. Not sure. Let's see. Boy, could never make out who it actually was that flew over. But definitely could tell the other one was Austin Clemens in his yellow and black Husky. So we get to park up next to the FBO at the transient parking here. Then if you were camping, you could park on the far end of the airport if you're camping underneath your wing. But we were just going back and forth each day. It was only about an hour each way, so it wasn't too bad to fly out. I think that was the Jeff's aircraft Highlander that I was seeing flying in. Not sure though. There's Dan Reynolds Chinook. He won again. Now, I didn't take any video of the actual competition. Here is the Piperzilla. It's amazing how quick you can get that thing off the ground, how short you can land that thing. For full-size Piper Cherokee, it's not really meant for what we're doing. And here's some of the more of the competitor parking. There's some on grass, some on the tarmac.
Actively trying to do some stuff,
Well, and I'm not really trying to do much on,
no, if someone just does anything, it's like, okay.
So it was good competition all day.
Yeah, I know.
I did get to walk through the paddock area. So we left out a little bit early. It was Halloween night, and we had to get back before, or 30 minutes after sunset. So we wanted to make sure we got out of there in time to fly the hour back home. Also get set up for trick-or-treaters. The event's still going. They're kind of in a break right now doing awards and getting the next guys ready for their competition. Say goodbye and head back toward Denton. Just climbing out nice and easy. Nice low and slow. Here we are back at Lakeview Airport. And we get to fly across the bridge, setting up for landing on runway 18. Get to land across the top of the bridge and then over some trees onto the grass strip. There used to be a really nice asphalt runway, but in 2015 the lake flooded and all this was underwater. I don't know how much of the asphalt was still above water, but there's water marks up on the hangers up about 1.5 feet. So over the trees, slowing it down. Just land out here in the grass. Let it settle where it wants to. keep the nose off the ground. We wanted to fly back out on Saturday for the finals, but the weather interrupted. We woke up to rain, and there was even icing conditions above 5,000 feet on the way there, so we definitely just decided, okay, we're not flying through the rain, low clouds, and there's marginal VFR, but just didn't want to do that, take the risk. So